I was just gonna ask how you were broadcasting. That's all. Like what?
Wait, we can knock this out there. Oh,
Up the OBS for you to. I don't understand that part, but okay.
We are live. ARCS Xfinity Series action from Kansas Motor Speedway. As you can see, the green flag is already out. Looks like the 60 of Bossy Gio out to a really nice lead. We'll try to get up to him. Not quite sure. Looks like the cars are slowing down already, so the caution will fly really quickly here at Kansas. A newcomer to the booth. Excited to have him here. Warp Lotus is with us tonight. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I appreciate the invite to extend it down to us for one of our representatives to come over and check it out. Excited to be here.
It's going to be an incredible race, high side action. These cars are going to be having to run in a line at Warp Lotus to be as fast as they can be.
Oh yeah.
But of course, you know, when they try to make that pass, they're going to have to go to the bottom. That's when the slingshot's going to occur. This can get really, really fun really quick.
Yeah, personal experience, that bottom is really treacherous. The only time the inside's really good is going down that front straightaway. And if you're just a little bit slower than the guy behind you, he could get just outside of you and make the pass going into one.
Maybe just a quick caution. It looks like the green flag will resume here at Kansas. The 6 of Boiled Ice out to a lead over the 60 of Bossy Gio, but the 60 looks underneath. He tries to see if he's going to make it side by side. 6 going to get a nice run off the outside there. Stays in first place, but the 60's right on his tail, Warp.
Yeah, you know, it's real tough, even in that second lane. You just got to make sure that you maintain your position on the outside behind the leader. As long as you got that car busting that air for you, you're going to maintain right there behind them. That's why it's so important. As you see, they're weaving back down the straightaway here. That's all that air being so turbulent up against that wall. There's nowhere for the air to go. It packs it all against you, pushes you away from that wall.
The 6, the 60, the 8 of COT Tommy running third, but there's a huge gap between that second place driver and the third place driver right now. These top 2 drivers trying to get all that they can get. Just the start of this stage, these tires will definitely start to wear out. They'll lose a little bit of grip, but it's most important that you stay right on that outside wall, Warp.
Yeah, you know, when you tires start falling off about 10 laps in, you got to make sure you're on your marks. There is speed up against the wall, but the trick is staying right up against there. Worn tires, always tricky, especially in turbulent air.
Battle going on now for 4th place. The 18 of Term V claims that spot for now, but 2 other drivers in the mix to try to get that as well. The 98 of A Poor Boy, as well as the 1 car of Twisted Navy running second in that pack. This is the best battle that we got going on so far, but it looks like the... sorry, I want to catch up with that driver. I'm sorry about that, Warp. The 22 of Nifty Agenda, it kind of just got around us there, trying to catch the 8 of COT Tommy for 3rd place now.
Yeah, he's in a good spot because he's going to get all that draft coming off the corner here. As long as he gets way up against the wall here, see, now we're going to scrub off some speed coming off the corner here because we're not against the wall. But the 22, very experienced driver, he knows what he's doing here. My money, 22, victory lane.
22 definitely looking strong. We'll continue to watch that car. Right now, we got to keep watching this 6 and the 60 of Boss E Geo running first and second. Down the backstretch they go. The 6, ever since he got in the lead after that first restart that we had, Warp, he's been able to stay right in front of the 60, but he hasn't gained much ground. The 60 still right on his bumper.
Yeah, as a driver, really love this package here. I personally ran with the 60 in other series before, and let me tell you, that guy, skills to pay the bills all day, every day. Oh, we got a guy touching the wall here. You can't do that. Always lose speed on that wall like that.
Yeah, you have a battle for first and a battle for third. The 22 of Nifty Agenda, Warp. You called it there, maybe just for a second. The 22 able to get around the 8, claims that third place position. The 6 in the meantime starting to pull away from the 60.
Yeah, this package, as long as you get on the throttle and you can stay on the throttle in these Xfinity cars, you're always going to have speed.
13 laps remaining in this first stage, and so we're starting to see these cars spread out. It's going to be important that you can hit your line. Nobody around you in this first 4 or 5 drivers. Of course, there is a battle there for 5th place. You see way back there, but for the most part up here, they're spread out. Got to hit your marks, got to get good speed, and if the 60 can stay in that draft of the 6, he can kind of ride around for a little bit, wait for these laps to tick down, and then make his move. The 6 in the lead. The 60 of Ballsy Geo trails him. The 22 of Nifty Agenda running third, and he has pulled away from the 8 of COT Tommy. But this is the best battle on the field, and it means the most. The 6 of Boiled Ice, I believe, and the 60 of Ballsy Geo battling it out hard at Kansas. The 62, the bumper of the 6 of Boiled Ice, and now the 22 comes into the picture. Wow, that 22 of Nifty Agenda is fast. 1, 2, 3, you see this 2-car battle has turned into a 3-car battle. The 22 looks underneath the 60. Super strong on the bottom is the 22 of Nifty Agenda. A very unconventional way of running this track. Warp Lotus, you may be having a little bit of issues. Unsure what's up with you, buddy. All right, we continue bumper to bumper action here at Kansas. Less than 10 laps to go. The 60 of Ballsy Geo forced to be underneath the 22. 22 goes with him. And now the 22 going to try to get the edge underneath. Does not. But this battle for second place is starting to heat up. And the 6 is enjoying that. The 6 starts to pull away just a little bit. The 60 will have to stay right there to keep in that draft. These 3 drivers starting to make this race quite interesting, Warp.
Yeah, that 22 hot rod, baby, it is fast. If you got a fast hot rod like the 22, you can make that middle line work. Best, that 6 keeps touching the wall. I don't know if you can't do that all race long. You can get that right side too flat, you won't have the stability you need.
Yeah, you got to be really careful. You send that in there just too much. You know, the 6 wants to do everything he can to take advantage of how fast.
Look at that side by side. Now that 22 is going to get one heck of a run. He needs to go outside of these guys coming down the backstretch. Hopefully he can set him up, make that pass again at the start-finish line.
Man, Warp,
I don't like this.
The 22... The 22 content to run this bottom, Warp Lotus. I don't know, but that's what he's been doing this entire race and caught these drivers. And now he's side by side with the 60. He's going to try to dive underneath of him.
I knew it won't work for too long. like I said, see, he needed to set him up to make the pass come and see. He would be making the pass right now. But the 22 is making the moves he thinks is most best for him, and that's what's important. 22 is a veteran in this series.
The 6, the 60, and the 22. These are your top 3 drivers. Very few laps remaining here at Kansas in the first stage. So, who's going to take home the first stage? The 22 has made up all the ground on these drivers, but catching a driver is different than making the pass on him. The 22 gets a little bit tight, maybe touches the wall just a tad there. All 3 drivers all the way down on the apron. Warp Lotus. Going to check and see how many laps we have left to go here. 5 laps remaining there.
Yeah, I'm watching this 1 and 18 here in the back. You made a good point. You can catch somebody, but it doesn't mean you can pass them. This 1's been beating on the 18's rear end for like 3 laps now. But, the 1 hit the wall this time. But those leaders, they're on a mission. That 60, he's looking for points. That's exactly what he's doing. 22 needs to make a move here. The precious stage points, always.
The NASCAR Heat 5 lack of information kind of strikes again there, Warp Lotus. The 22 is a lap down car, and so not quite sure if the 22 of Nifty Agenda had some issues, came down pit road and was on fresh tires. He was definitely able to catch these drivers. He's trying to stay out of their way, I think.
Look, lap down or not, that's a fast hot rod. That shows you the fall off between the tires. We just seen a restart to run this long green flag run. For that 22 to run on a 3rd position on the track overall, but not for placement, that's still fast. He gets back on that lead lap before the end of this stage. You won't need that wave around.
The 6
you can get back on.
Go ahead, buddy.
Sorry, go ahead.
The 6.
I was just gonna say, as a driver, you want to get yourself back on that lead lap. You get the lucky dog. You got to start at the back, but if you can get your lap back and be in front of the leader, then you can make a pit move and possibly get up in the top 5. But yeah, this 60 is hounding the 6, and that's what you need to do. Is you got to keep hounding them. The 60's pulling back now. You're going to attempt to make a run here for the stage. Look for the 60 to make his move on the outside coming out of 4.
Outside line may prevail. The inside slingshot might as well. We saw a ton of it in the Truck Series Tuesday night. Back and forth they went. But this being the final lap, the 60 Warp is going to have to make his move right now, coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, if he can't I don't think he's going to be able to, but if he can make that move, it's got to be coming out of 4.
Oh, he tries.
Got to be able to dive bomb. Oh, here we go, dive bomb.
He tried.
60 doesn't have it. He doesn't have it, nope.
The 6 going to take this first stage. The caution is going to wave on the 6 of Boiled Ice. The 60
Very
of
nice.
Nifty Agenda going to finish 2nd there, Warp. The 8 of COT Tommy now running in 3rd.
Yeah, overall, the race has been pretty good for the 3 cars that have been running up front. This restart, we're going to rack them back up. Everybody's got a little knowledge now. I've told my crew chief exactly what I need. I need 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel, get me loose, put some grill tape on. We're running Xfinity cars. We can go higher on the grill tape. I'm looking 45 on the grill tape, 49.5 or less on your wedge. But you don't want to get the wedge too much because then you'll come whipping off the corner and you'll wreck.
Stage 1 is over. Stage 2 about to begin. ARCS Xfinity Series action from Kansas. I love this track, Warp. Love running the outside. It's so different than most of the 1.5 miles that we get to run in NASCAR Heat 5.
Yes.
The 6 and the 60 doing a great job. They're putting on a great show, but the 22 of Nifty Agenda now going to be on the lead lap. He's going to try to make his way through this field, and I think he might be able to. Green flag is out. The 6 is going to be on the bottom. The 60 on the outside, Warp.
Oh, you got a little of the grass there. They pay guys to cut that for us. We don't, as drivers, we don't need to do that. But this 60 is going to have position here coming down the backstretch. If he can get the guy on the outside behind him to push him, then he'll be able to maintain going into the corner. Otherwise, the 6 will be able to pull it off and start finish line.
Some pack racing we're seeing for now. The 6 forced to go way low. 60 chooses the middle. The 18 on the outside. He'll get a nice run. The 60 had to cut that off. Now they're side by side here at the line. The 60 with the near advantage.
Yes. Yeah, sitting here riding behind the 1 car here. We got 4 going almost 4 wide into the corner here. But the outside line starting to form. Then we're going to go Holland butt down the straightaway here, and the 6 car is just going to drop like a rock to the back of the line.
We ride along with the 6, and you see it, Warp. He's just stuck there on the bottom, hoping to find a gap that he can get up into. Looks like he finds one right there, and so now they're single file, but the 60 of Boss E. Geo out to the lead here, Warp. Looks like the 18 of Turn V going to be in second.
He got lucky. The guy behind him gave him a good push to come down the straightaway there, and he was able to maintain. It's almost like you're driving at the plate track. The only difference is you actually have to let off the gas. And when everybody knows when you let off the gas, the car slows down. That pack racing disturbs all the air from behind. All those cars get a big surge. When you're letting off the throttle, the car behind you is almost full speed still. And that can help propel everybody down the straightaway, or it can cause a big wreck here. But everything worked out for you. And Boss did make it out to the lead here, being challenged by the 18 going on the inside. Packing that air gets the outside wall. Get too close, there's no gap there. You get sucked into the wall. The 18 made a good move to go by the 60 here. But he does not do the slide job. He lets the 60 maintain. Good running here with the 18. A lot of respect from that driver there, which is pretty good. It's nice to see that type of racing. As you can see, everybody's starting to form that outside line. We've got the leaders side by side. Now we're packing that air again, causing that big hole. The guy behind us is going to get a big run here. 60's pulling out here. 60 does have horsepower. That's what I like about Boss. He always brings the power. Well, looks like we're going to have a little issue at the back of the pack here. Nope. Everything worked out. It's pretty good. Everything's going pretty good. Now we're all strung out here. The 1 getting followed. 1 car is being towing around second place. 18 fell all the way to the back of this group. 22 had power, had a lot of speed, but it must have all been tires. But he's doing pretty decent now.
The 60 now still running in that first position. Sorry there, Warp. The 44 car now in second. That is Dirt to Daytona.
Yep.
Doing a really good job. The 98 of a Poor Boy running in third now. And now there's a 2-car breakaway again, but it does not include the 6 of Boiled Ice.
No, the 6 does have horsepower, though. He's got the 22 is closing in on him back here. I've been watching. 22 is hitting his marks. He's got good speed. So now we know that was not a fluke. That was not just tires. He's got that long run speed that we're looking for. It looks like we're going to have a challenge here for the lead. If I'm the 60, all I want to do is maintain my outside position. I want to pinch the guy against the wall or down to the apron if I'm the leader. The most important thing you need to watch out for when you're the leader is everybody else behind you is running off your mark. So if you come off the wall a little bit or touch the wall a little bit, it cause an issue. But it looks like he's keeps hammering at this bottom on the 60.
Go to bed.
You keep
Close
hammering, and you can almost move enough air to get under him. To see the 60 needs to keep up. You gotta keep up. Yeah, you gotta keep up against the wall here. Ooh, 44, big hit. But if you're the 60, if you're the leader, you want to keep up against the wall. You want to pack that air to the left of you to prevent the run from coming on the inside. That's how the lane's prevented from having that run. If you got a real good hot rod, can handle real good, and you can run that middle line, you can make a move on the leader.
Now spread out evenly is the 60, the 44, and the 98 of a poor boy. The 98 in that Ford looking really nice. It's good to see him running well here at Kansas. Definitely has a hooked up car in this second stage. The 44 of Dirt to Daytona, a newcomer to the front, but so far being able to handle that. As you see the 98 way off into the grass, looking back through the field. It's a big battle here for third now. The 6 of Boiled Ice going to look underneath the 98. That's going to stall. The 98 going to get a run. The 8 of COT Tommy with the push, but the 98 hit to the wall. Oh. These guys are clowning Warp Lotus. There's a car around. The 18 of Term V looks like. Oh, COT Tommy around.
One car does not bring out the caution in this series. We're going green still. Yeah, they had a group of 5 cars in the line there. And once the 98 got to the grass, that's all it takes is once one car's momentum changes drastically like that, they caught him, tried to go racing instead of staying in line, and that was the product of that. Oh, here we go. Got the 6 making desperate moves. He's around. He caused the wreck. He's around. We got cars in the grass. Everybody's cutting grass now. Yeah, it's calamity corner for them. Luckily, the stage will come up in about, 10, 15 laps. So if they can maintain a good overall speed and stay on the lead lap. Okay, I did not see anybody make any major contact, so there should be no damage on these cars. 60 is making a move on the 44, coming back for the lead. 44 got around. There we go. 60's trying to make that inside second groove run, and it's doing a pretty decent job here. But see, the problem with that is get down here on the flat, and you try to make that move on the outside going into one, and it's never there because you've changed your momentum. These cars are really finicky. These Xfinity cars, they have twice the horsepower, or twice the downforce, and half the horsepower of the Cup cars. That's what it feels like, even though it's not really how it is. 44 just disappeared on my screen.
44 of Dirt to Daytona going to lag out of this race. That's going to leave the 60 of Boss E. Geo all by his lonesome. The 22 of Nifty Agenda looks like he is running. No, I'm sorry. Trying to catch up with that driver. Looks like the 98 of a poor boy is going to inherit the second place position. The 60 of Boss E. Geo going to come around and take 4 laps to go. That's going to mean that cautions are turned off. We will run green to the end, and that's going to be great news for the 60 of Boss E. Geo, who sets on about a 1.5 lead over the 98.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can break out of the pack in these cars, at this track for sure, you're always going to have a good chance at the end of the long run. But I do look forward to the racing we're going to see at the stage. That's the plus side of the stage racing. It gives you an opportunity to try to get some track. Back in the old days, we used to race. It was all straight green flag till the end. If there was nobody spun, nobody wrecked to bring out the caution, you're going 50, 100, 150 laps, all green. So pit strategy was more important then. Now with the pack racing and the stage racing and the bonus points, those are more important. So I'm looking forward to the racing we're going to get here in about.
Very few laps remaining here in this race, in this second stage. The 60 of Ballsy Geo, as we said, out to a really nice lead. We're looking to catch up and see when how many laps we have to go, Warp. This field is way spread out. The 60 of Ballsy Geo hard into the wall. That car's starting to have handling issues.
Blew a tire. I know it. That's what it's got to be. He had to have blown a tire. Hopefully he can limp it around and maintain on the lead lap. Go 2 laps down. I don't think you're going to be able to do anything. At least if you go a lap down, you'll get the lucky dog. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. Anytime, that's a hard hit, too. You know, when you're driving these cars, that's a hard hit. And so it damages the car. It takes longer time on pit road to fix damage, and that's positions you're giving up on the track. And the trends of this race have shown us that we're going to look at green flag running stages. Now we're going to go to the end of the race.
Fortunately,
now you get it. Oh, sorry.
No,
go ahead.
Sorry about that, buddy. Fortunately for Ball CGO, it seems like all 4 tires will stay up, but definitely not what he wanted to see at the end. There will be some added damage on pit road. The 60 of Ball CGO going to win stage 2 there, Warp. So
good for him.
Now,
bonus point.
And now we get to this point where it's stage 3. You've kind of ran around, learned some things, hopefully. But there's only 7 or 8 drivers in this field, which means pretty much everybody has a chance to win. It just depends on how this restart's going to go for them. Is it time to send it?
Well, right now, track position is key. You're more worried about track position at this very moment. Once we go green, then all bets are off. I'm probably going to go full send. But I run the risk of wrecking just myself and having no caution. That's what you got to watch out for. So you can't be too aggressive here on this restart. But I'm going to tell you what, if I'm the 60, I'm going to do everything I can to stay out front. Because we've seen the leader with that fresh air will maintain out front. Here we go. Green flag's out. 60 with one nice launch cutting up in front of the 98. Good move here. He's going to come back down in front of the 1. No, he's going to stay up high. That 1's going to try to get position. Oh, the 1 checked up. I would not have done that. I would have gone for it. Here we go. See? Now we've wrecked ourselves going too fast.
The 60 of...
I was following on the 6 car there.
The 60 of...
We got 3 cars. 3 cars total caught up in that. Looks like we're still green.
We will see if they race it to the line here. It looks like the 60 is going to back off. The caution will come out, Warp Lotus. And so we're going to have to see how this is going to change, how things work out as far as their pit strategy is concerned. We're going to run about another 50 laps in this race. And so definitely a green flag pit stop, but can they do it on 1?
Probably. You could probably get it on 1. You're probably looking at about 20 laps of fuel. It's times 4 or times... I don't know. If it's times 3, you're looking at about 25 laps for your fuel. And you ran about 5. So I'm going to definitely come down and take a splash of what I need. Yep. See, here we go. We got the leaders coming down. We're going to top off for fuel for sure. I'm only topping off. Me personally, I'm only topping off. I want that track. My tires are good. I want that track.
The 60 leads the field down pit road. The 1 of Twisted Navy is going to come with him, as well as the 8 and the 18 of Term V. And so the 60 wants to get off pit road. Did anybody stay out? We want to check and make sure. It looks like all these cars came down pit road. They want those 4 fresh tires, Warp. But it looks like maybe the 1 of Twisted Navy going to use some strategy. He's going to come off pit road first. The 1 going to lead the field, obviously taking 2 tires there. So the 60 of Ball CGO going to start on the outside here, and he's going to have 4 tires. So it's going to be really interesting. The 1 going to try to get a good run at the green flag here. You see the field lined up 2 by 2. Will this be the final restart? We're going to have about 49 laps to go. when they take the green flag. The 60 on the bottom now, but the 1 should be the control car here. They still remain side by side. You see it. The 60 going to have the advantage, though, here, using that bottom line on the start. The 8 of COT Tommy behind them. Now the 1 still trying to get that run, is able to keep the outside from the 60 of Bossy Geo, and now the 1 has the preferred spot. The 60 is going to fall off, and the 8 and the 18 is going to be behind the 1. He could lose a ton of positions by the time this all stacks out. The 18 hard into the wall there. He's going to lose some positions there, but the 8 able to take advantage of the 60 being on the bottom there. He's going to be in second place. The 1 of Twisted Navy going to be the leader, and the 60 of Boss E Geo falls to third. The 6 of Boiled Ice now running fourth place here, and they are bumper to bumper. This is going to get really, really good. They come across the stripe with 48 laps remaining. The 1 out front, the 8 of COT Tommy right there behind him. Now the 8 looks to try to get a run, and the 8 is going to be side by side coming into 3. The 1 with the better line. The 8 tries the slide job, but he gets too tight there, COT Tommy.
Yeah, you want somebody to be there to push you when you're making that move in there, because you're going to get tight. Problem is, you don't want to be too loose, because then you can't run the outside. But we got a good challenge here for the lead. We're bumping and grinding here. What is side for the 1 car? Oh, contact, major contact there, but we're still going. I love it. That 60's eating it up. That's what the 60 needs. The way he can make a move coming here on the outside.
The 60 gets into the 8, and now on the bottom as well, the 22 moves down in front of the 60. The 22 been so strong on the bottom. He's going to look to try to make a run here and get on the bottom and get to the lead, but the 1 with a great push from the 18 makes them 3 wide there for third place just for a second. The 1 trying to stay in front of the 18 is forced to come off that line a little bit there, Warp. That's going to mean he's going to scrub speed here.
Yeah, you don't want to be scrubbing speed. Like I said, I'll always tell you, as a leader, you want to be up against that wall. That's your safe space. You hate it, you don't love it, but that's where you need to be. And this is the result of that. You're able to maintain that position. All these guys are fighting to get by you. Even if you got somebody pushing you, making the pass on the inside is almost impossible.
The 8 of COT Tommy runs that bottom line, tries to just turn around the center and gets into the 6 on exit, but the 6 able to stay with the rest of the field. The 18 low on the apron, the 1 gonna get side by side with him. The 18 jumps right up in front of him, and that's what you got to do. If you can't enter just right, Warp, you got to get up there and protect that spot.
Yeah, you track position, especially now. We're all in line. We're all, hot rods are all tuned up, ready to go. You can kiss the wall and stay in line as long as you got the speed maintained. That leader needs to maintain up against that wall. I can't say that enough. I know I sound like a record. That's what I'm here for.
43 laps remaining. ARCS Xfinity Series from Kansas. The 18 of Term V able to conquer over the 1, and he takes the lead from him and now tries to set sail. The 1, I believe, on a little bit older tires, doing a great job of fending off the pack, but now that the 18's got around him, the 6 has to get really desperate. He needs to get around the 1 as soon as he can to try to catch back up to the 18 of Term V. The 22 of Nifty Agenda trying to get around now the 8. We got battles in different spots of the track. The 6, you see it hard up into the 1. The 1 still neglecting to yield that position. He will not. Great Xfinity Series racing that we're seeing tonight.
Yes, I love it. The leader's just sailing away. The rest of these guys are fighting it out. But I'm fighting because I need those points. So I'm going to do what I can. That 6, he's in good position here because going into the corner, He'll keep the 22 on the inside, but the 22's got good strength down here on the inside. Really surprised that he's able to keep that speed up coming off the corner. It's great to see that we got great racing here in the ARCS Xfinity series. Really enjoying it. I appreciate the invite, Mr. Deplorable.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you came and joined us. It's a really good racing that we're seeing. A light field for this Xfinity field, but definitely competition nonetheless. The 18 trying to avoid all competition at the end of this race. A little over 30 laps to go towards the end of this race, and the 18 is setting sail on the rest of the field. The one who had a great pit stop seemingly came out with 2 tires, Warp. Still able to stay ahead of these drivers, and that is making the 18 be able to pull completely away.
Yeah, he's able to stay up against that wall and keep that air on the left side of his car. Like I told you before, you can't see it, but when you're in that car and you're driving and you're going into the corner, you feel that air gets packed because it's so turbulent. Old tires makes other drivers frustrated because they can't get by you, especially at a single lane track like this. But as you see, we're starting to get racy here. 22 is going to try to push that 6 on past the 8, stay in line with the 1, and try to make a move on the 1 coming to the stripe. Here we go. Yep, got the 8. 6 made his move. 1 pulled down. 22 is going to push coming to the corner here. Now, if I'm the 1 car, I'm going to look to maintain. I know pit stops are coming up. I need 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel. That's at least 16 seconds just in the stop alone.
The 6, the 22, and the 8 finally get around that 1 of Twisted Navy, but has the damage been done? You see the gap between the 6 and the 18. The 18 just now coming down into turn 3. It looks like he comes down. He might be signaling that he's coming down pit road. Maybe not, though, Warp. That is not traditional of what we see, so I imagine that 18 maybe got a little bit loose, and that could be good news for the 6, the 22, and especially that 8 car who's just trying to stay hooked onto the draft as well. I'm sorry, especially the 1 car who's just trying to stay hooked onto that 8's draft.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the 1 car. Whatever he did on pit road, it definitely didn't help him, but it didn't really hurt him that much. We know pit stops are coming up. We know everybody's going to take 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel, so everybody's looking at least 16 seconds. I'm the 1 car. I'm looking to maintain my track position. I'm going to hit pit road right on the numbers. That's going to be your best bet here to try to beat the leader who's pulled away to at least 2 seconds.
The 22 Nifty Agenda moves into 3rd, and you see the 18 doing everything that he can to keep that gap in 1 and 2 into the wall, in 3 and 4 into the wall. The 18 is losing the handling on this car. Warp, this is going to be good because these 4 drivers back here really want to catch him, and they're catching him super fast. Once they get to him, it could be all about who gets around him first that could come home as the winner of this race.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to whoever gets a push right there to make the move. If I'm the 8 car, I'm going to go on the outside. That's my best bet because I'm 2-3 cars back already. If I'm on the outside, I'm able to generate more momentum from the draft. Air's going to be bigger for the guys side by side. I'm definitely going to push the 22. 22's got a fast hot rod. 6 car handling falls off really quick. The Supras, they seem to maintain their speed, but they lose their handling. And the Fords seem to maintain their handling while lose speed. The Chevys are decent all the way around, but they're a little loose. And that can translate into bad news. But this 22, he's on a mission. Like I told you, that's my guy to watch. They're catching the 18 here. The 22 and the 6 are keeping a good line going and decided to run and catch this 18 car down. So it's going to be interesting to see what the 18 does. If I'm the 18, I'm going to just get up against the wall. I'm going to do what the one car did. I'm going to in my track position. The guys go around me on the side. Yeah, you see here the 18 moved up his lane a little bit. He was trying to save some tire. You can save a little bit of tire trying to right on the line there. But this 22 is going to make a move on the 6. I'm confident of that.
The 22 running in third, content to stay behind the
And we're all
6 for
straight
now.
up here.
Oh,
The 18.
sorry about that, Warp.
Go
I
ahead.
unmuted one
you're
and
fine.
didn't unmute the other one, so they heard me and you did not. I apologize for that.
It's quite all right, sir.
The 22 running in third, content to stay behind the 6
Yes.
for now, but that pretty much lasts as long as the 6 continues to catch the 18, right? As soon as the 6 would
Yes.
start to falter, the 22 would definitely be looking to get around him, but right now these two making a good time on this 18 of Term V, under 30 laps remaining in this race, and they have all but caught the leader.
Yeah, well, the 1 has hooked up with the class favorite, the 60. They're pulling in these 3 guys running the middle lane, I might add, on exit. So I'm looking at these 2 guys trying to make a move before pit stops. Look, if I can make a positional change before pit stops, that's what I'm going to do as a driver. That's going to translate into more spots on pit road. Big problem here is getting on the binders. They're cold. You haven't been touching the brakes. You need to warm them up a little bit.
COT Tommy and Twisted Navy running 4th and 5th respectively have lost the leaders draft, but still hang on really close. And if you can be that close at the end, Warp, you know that you're in shot if these guys start to really battle for the lead for you to gain some time. Looks like the 1 being a good friend to the 8 right now, content to ride behind him. The 6 and the 22 meanwhile have caught the 18 of Term V. They all 3 run this outside line as it stands, but you know the 6 has a super fast car, led a bunch of laps tonight already. We've seen the 22 and how fast that Ford can be, and so both these drivers got to be hungry to try to get around the 18.
Yeah, 22's been getting all the brakes and getting the track position from that. And we caught the leader here. We're looking to make a pass here. 6 on the inside of the 18. He's cleared. 22's going to follow. I don't know what happened to the 18 here, but he's almost lost all his horsepower. 22 almost got into the 18. Oh, 6 is coming down pit road. Here we go. Here comes the 8. Too fast. 8 went too fast. That's way too fast. 8 cars going to have a penalty on that. Just seeing that. But the leader stayed out. So we got Boss on pit road, Tommy on pit road. The 18, something happened to the 18. He's still on track, but he's super slow. I think he might have ran out of fuel, it looks like. Yeah, he's shaking it back and forth. That he blew a tire. Oh, he blew a tire. He's got no handling. It's got to be what it is.
The 18 slow and in the grass.
Oh, yeah, he's mowing. He's out. 98 still on track. I don't know if he's come in yet.
98 did
Poor
come
boy.
down pit road. He was actually the first driver
Okay.
down pit road, and so that could mean a little bit of something there for the 98. Maybe still some life in that Stewart-Haas Racing Ford. The 6 of Boiled Ice has made his adjustments and tires and fuel, and now he's back out on the track. We're going to have to check, Warp, make sure we know who is being scored as the leader at the moment. It looks like the 22 of Nifty Agenda on pit road. He is the leader, but that is probably soon to change. We will see very soon there, Warp.
Yeah, the way this game is designed, spectating mode, it doesn't really help trying to decipher who's running. But the racing has been really great. I've been really impressed with it. We got the 1 following the 6 car. The 22 just got on track behind them. So 22 is going to have the fresher tires than these guys. 22 is fast as well. These guys are not running up against the wall here, so the 22's got a chance to come back. He's got enough laps for it. So 60 cars hitting the wall, and he hasn't had a good night ever since the end of stage 2. He got the back of of the pack, and he hasn't been seen or heard of since. Same with the 18. The 18th now here in no man's land. Well,
the 6 of Boiled Ice now the leader of this race. He came down passing for the lead, and with the 18's trouble, he comes out the clear leader. The 1 car was able to hang there with him for a second. It looks like now a half a second gap built between the 6 and the 1. The 22 of Nifty Agenda desperately trying to make up the time needed. About 25 laps remaining on this race. So I'm pretty sure, Warp, that all these drivers are going to be able to make it just barely on gas. The 98, though, Warp, with his early pit, he might have to save just a little bit to make it all the way.
Yeah, the downside of pitting strategy here is you need to make sure you have enough, because you're going to by yourself. Once you get strung out like this, you really don't have anyone around you, you're just all drag, even no matter where you're at. So you want to make sure you got enough fuel, because now you're burning more fuel. Even when you're the leader, unlike at a plate track where you burn more fuel, here you can kind of save a little bit more fuel when you got a car behind you. Because the air, you're not going that fast. You're not going 200 miles an hour. You're going 170, 180. So it helps save a little fuel. But we got the 22 in the 1 car here. 22 has caught him, and they might try to make a run at this 6. I wouldn't be surprised if he slowed up to catch up with the 22 so they could try to make a run. I know that makes a good strategy call for sure. Yeah, they're definitely closing in on him.
Boiled Ice leads the field. The 1 of Twisted Navy holding on to second for now. The 22 of Nifty Agenda all up in the draft and on that back bumper of the 1 of Twisted Navy. Very shortly, I believe we're going to see the 22 dive down and try to make the pass. He looks underneath the 1, decides against that. When you're both there on that top side there and you get that close together, it's probably not wise to go any faster and get into the right rear quarter panel. It's going to mess both you up.
Yeah, once again, you don't want to wreck yourself or somebody else, because your car is too cautious. So you're going to stay green. That's the most important thing, and it's good to be seeing. But I think they're going to try to catch this guy here. I think 22 is going to settle down. I would settle in, just push the 1 to catch him. I'm faster than the 1. So when we catch the 6, I'll be faster than both of them. I can make.
Good strategy, a call from your Warp Lotus. We're going to see if they decide that they're going to use that on the track. The 22, like you said, still pushing this 1 of Twisted Navy down the backstretch. The 6 of Boiled Ice started to gain some, to kind of lengthen that gap between the 3 drivers. But since he did that, he hasn't really gained or lost much time in about the last 3 laps. And so we're going to have to see how these 3 cars are going to add up. Without a caution, these 3 cars have the best shot right now of winning this race. The 1 into the wall, the 22 around the 1 easily makes the pass. 22 of Nifty Agenda now just 1 more spot to the lead, and you see that gap already starting to shrink. The 6 running that bottom. The 22 decides on the middle line. Neither one opt for the outside.
Yeah, see, I'm going to run that outside. I don't know why we're running the middle, but everybody drives differently than me, so that's for sure. But I would be running that top, because as fast as the 22 is, that's where all the speed's going to. You're burning your tires running that middle line to catch them, because you got the 1 car in tow. You want to lose that 1 car, slowing you down at the end of the race, because then he's going to be there to make a move. You don't want that behind you.
Warp, the 6 is slow, super slow. The 22 has gained every bit of that, and so is the 1. And so not quite sure what has happened with that 6 car, but the 22 looks underneath, is able to get side by side with him, and now it's a dogfight down the back. The 22 will definitely take the low line here, and is going to slide up in front of the 6 and
that's a
take
good
that
side
lead,
job.
Warp Lotus.
Yeah, I think 6 maybe trying to save a little bit. That's what it seems like. But of course he was running in the middle lane when you're doing that, and you try to run. You need a couple laps for the outside to come in for you. These guys were running in a line too, so that's hard to fight off as well. But overall, it was a clean pass for that 22. Very impressive. I told you he was the guy to watch with that hot rod. Definitely look forward to speaking with him after this race if possible.
Warp Lotus called the 22 of Nifty Agenda for the win with 13 laps remaining in this ARCS Xfinity Series race. The 22 is your leader. 3 cars with the opportunity to still win. The 6 of Boiled Ice running second, and the 1 of Twisted Navy now running third. Looks like all these cars are going to be able to make it on fuel, and so it all just depends on how much tires you've used, how consistent can you be, and when it comes down to it, what are you willing to do to win this race, Warp?
Well, as a driver, you're willing to do almost anything it takes, including wrecking yourself at the end of the race. Sometimes it happens, but 22's got fast car here overall. He's got good as well. The 6 car looks like he's trying to mount to come back here. The 1's starting to fade off. He was hanging pretty well. Yes, he's coming down pit road here. Either he can't make it or the drivers overall can't make it. The 1 car, I don't know. He waited. He came down with the other leaders, so I don't understand why he didn't have enough to make it. Maybe because he didn't take fire. That happened to me when I ran with these guys at Talladega in the trucks. I didn't take any fuel. I didn't take any tires on that last pit stop, just fuel. And so 4 laps to go, I blew a right front. I had to come down and get tires. I was 3rd or 4th in that race. 1 car's coming out of pit road. Here come other vehicles. Looks like either the 8 or the 60 going by on the outside. Very slow and loose on that apron coming out of there in 1 and 2. But you come up here, stay up here against the wall. Coming down, it's not going to do anything for you, unlike on a restart where you want to run on the bottom.
Canada's own Nifty Agenda in that 22 crosses the stripe with 9 laps remaining in this race. The 6 of Boiled Ice has been strong all night long, but had a little bit of an issue. Had to slow up just a tidbit, and that allowed the 22 to get around the 6. He is your leader. He's going to cross the line here with 8 laps to go, which means in 3 laps, cautions are going to be turned off as the 6 gets a really nice run on the 22. It looks like we are going to have a race for the finish of this one, Warp.
Yeah, the 6 is going to try to do anything he can. I think he burned up all his stuff. He's not going to be able to move. Hopefully 22 makes a mistake and touches the wall. But it looks like we're going to have a good run here. Coming off the... It's not going to be enough. Suck up to him. But now if I'm the 6, I'm just going to try to run the fastest line that I can, because that's going to be the line that catches. You get a surge from the car in front of you when they cut in and out from in front of you. So that's why sometimes it feels like you get a real surge when the car in front of you moves away. That draft's still sucking you forward. When they cut back and forth in front of you, it disturbs the air across the whole front end, and it gives you a real good run. See, that's what he's trying to do. You see the 6, he's running that fast line. He's running that qualifying line.
22 just trying to guard the outside. What he does not want is to let that 6 figure out a way to get on the outside of the car. The 22, though, has been super strong on the bottom. We're going to cross the line here, Warp, with with 6 laps remaining in this race.
Yep.
And so now the 22 going to take 5 laps to go. That means the cautions are going to be turned off. That means literally there are 2 drivers in this hunt, the 22 of Nifty Agenda and the 6 of Boiled Ice, but the 22 continuing to gain ground on the 6. About 4.5 to go in this one, Warp.
Yeah, the 22's got some real good overall speed on the long end, but running that middle line, he's going to allow that 6 to suck back up to him. But 22's fast. He gets right back on that outside, pulls right away from him. That's exactly what you want to do. You save some of your stuff. Save some of your stuff for the end of the run. But I think I'm confident giving the 22 the checkered flag. I told you to give it to him on lap 3. But the 6 is really strong. The 6 is really strong. There is a chance, as long as the 22 does not hit the wall, he's got this in the bag. But that 6, he's been able to find a little bit of speed here and there, and that's enough to get him closer and closer and closer. Coming down with 3 to go here, we're looking at one crazy run coming from the 6, because it looks like he's got him lined up. Coming down into turn 1, it's going to be crazy at the end of this race.
These cars are desperately low on tires. The tires are all beat up and worn. Warp Lotus, one guy that I'm looking at on 12%. And so these guys doing everything that they can to make it to the end. 22 and the 6 has this added option of having to race each other. The 6 right on the back bumper of the 22. 2 laps remaining in this one, and they make contact coming into 1.
Yeah, I'm pushing the car in front of me. I'm going to try to get you to go so fast that you can't handle it or you wreck yourself. That 6, he's got speed. I told you, he keep a little bit. He needs to stay on him on the outside here. That 22, if he slips down in the inside, that 6 will go right by him. Coming down here, 1 lap to go here. White flag is out.
1 lap to go here. The 22 found himself a lap down in the first stage. Battles all the way back and now just has the 6.
Inside. Here comes the 6. He's going to try it.
Not going to be enough. The 22 going to get a big run here on the backstretch. Now the 22 going to get that run all the way down the backstretch.
Yep. 6 should have waited coming off a 3 if he wanted to do it. But 22 is going to take that checkered flag here. 6 car. He's banging that wheel. He's mad. But he's going to come home second. Still pays good. That's all you got to say to yourself. But that 22 is taking checkered flag. Started almost a lap down. Racing his way back up through the field. Trying to get his lap back before the end of the stage. But that was great to see. That was a great race. That was a great one. 22 definitely came back. I was surprised the 60 fell off like that. Normally he's pretty good here. But that 18, he was pretty stout until he started falling off there with that blown tire, it looked like. The one car, he just kept getting one bad break after the other. He tried. But congratulations to that 22 car. That Ford definitely fast. And this ARCS Xfinity series pretty good. This ARCS Xfinity series good. I appreciate the invite. Definitely gonna have to come back again.
Absolutely. The 22 of Nifty Agenda takes home the win. We are going to take a quick break. We will be back with our top 3. We are back. ARCS Xfinity Series action came to you live. The second place driver of Boiled Ice in that 6 car. Boiled Ice, you had a super fast car all night long, but once the 22 was able to get around you, it looked like he was able to stick it there. You had some issues towards the end of that run. You kind of lost a whole lot of ground to the rest of those top 3. What happened there? What could you have done different to fix that, buddy?
It was just a really bad decision call on my part. I decided to short pit and pit 1 lap early because it was showing me a whole lap to the good if I were to do that. So I figured that I would be able to hold him off by short pitting or like get a good enough gap to be able to maintain onto the lead and whatnot. Fortunately, with Kansas, you just burn through the fuel so fast. So I sat there when I had like the 1 second and a half lead. I sat there and I was just hardcore saving all the way up until they caught up to me. And then I hopped in behind Nifty and I tried to save for that whole entire rest of the time. I was sitting there and just half throttling behind Nifty. And it still wasn't enough. I was still a whole entire lap short. So it was just really bad decision call on my part. I feel like I was definitely the fastest car of the night. It just bad call on my part ended up costing the team a win. So disappointing, but it is what it is.
Well, a second place finish for you nonetheless. You'll look to regroup next week. But Warp Lotus, you called it at the beginning of the first stage. You said that car is going to win this race. And look at that. He did. You have our winner, Nifty Agenda.
Yeah, the good thing about drivers here is when you get behind the wheel of a car like the driver of the 22, you can really go places. Man, you had a fast hot rod. Got up there to the front and you maintained up there against that wall. Describe to us that feeling up against the wall, keeping that air packed up there for the speed.
Well, it's fast and it's dicey up there. I got into it a few times, but didn't slow me down enough where it put me behind. But I'll tell you the incident after lap 1. I was a little disappointed with that, but stage 3, I was back on the lead lap and decided to give these guys a run, and geez, I made it sticking on that high side.
Yeah, you were the only car that we've seen to really be able to hold the bottom there. When you figured that out, you started making moves forward, coming up there, trying to get that lap back. Were you trying to get it back before the end of that stage?
I was. I really was, but just didn't have enough. I didn't want to upset the guys that were in the lead, so I had to back off a little bit. But yeah, early on, I was trying to get my lap back.
Yeah, see that's a wheelman right there, Mr. Deplorable. At 22, got up there, he took that lead, got that checkered flag. Really impressed. They called it right there, gave the race. 22 though, he's got my vote. First
Thank
win.
You very much.
Look at that.
My first win.
Look at that. That's what you can't complain over that now, sir. Great driving out there, man.
Thank you very much.
Hot rodding.
Well, it was a great call, Warp Lotus.
Yeah.
It was a great drive there from Nifty Agenda, and this has been a great race, Warp Lotus. I enjoyed calling it with you, buddy. But for now, it's Friday night. So Sunday night, do not forget, A Squared Racing will be live right here on this channel. SKD will be bringing that to you live from Kansas. That is twitch.tv/ARCS Racing Networks. We're also on YouTube and Facebook under the same name, so make sure you check us out. But for now, this has been ARCS Xfinity Series action.